This fine gentleman is or was part of JD Vance's Secret Service team, and he revealed sensitive information about JD Vance to an undercover James O'Keefe journalist. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Secret Service agent assigned to JD Vance going on a date with a young lady who was an undercover James O'Keefe journalist and spilling all the beans, talking about his travel plans and locations and times and dates and places. This is totally unacceptable. And I understand. Look, you on a date with a young lady, you want to impress her. Hey, I'm Secret Service with JD Vance and this and that. I get that part. However, that's no excuse. Bro, you have no idea who this woman is. She could be a Chinese spy, an undercover federal agent, an undercover James O'Keefe journalist. She could be anybody. Not only are you compromising your own job, you're compromising the safety of JD Vance. This makes no sense. Now, before I go any further, let's get straight to the video. Of course, again, this is James O'Keefe Media Group. I will link to the entire thing in the description if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Can I see your badge again with your photo? You're so cute.
Can I see your badge with your photo? All your credentials, your information, all of that just right in her hands, and it's right on camera. Not very smart, Tom Escoto. That's your name right there.
A current Secret Service agent on Vice President JD Vance's security detail.
When he's like walking, like where are you?
We'll follow him. We'll have a leash, a minimum head and
gives away vital high-level security information to our undercover journalists.
we have different shifts. We have shift.
Tells her about detailed future travel plans for the Vice President, and even sends her pictures with location metadata revealing where the President's convoy was located, potentially violating both the Secret Service NDA and United States federal law. And Tomas is fully aware of this. Quote, I signed paperwork, so if I don't have to get out information, I never do, otherwise I get in trouble. You really have to stand in awe of the lack of self-awareness.
There ain't nothing secret about what we do.
Tomas Escoto also reveals that he voted for Biden and that he hates Trump and Vance's immigration policies.
Did you vote for Biden?
Yes, I did actually.
What do you think about like all the ICE stuff going on?
I hate that shit.
You know what? About that could be a lie because you want to date and you want to impress her. That could be a lie. Maybe he's assuming that she's a liberal and that would impress her. But regardless, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to follow his train of thought here.
Yeah.
They're employing taxes that shouldn't be employed.
You may have seen reports last week that someone attempted to break into Vice President JD Vance's home in Ohio. That incident prompted us to take a closer look. What we found in our investigation was an agent inside the Vice President's detail who was actually revealing to a total stranger that the Vice President would be visiting his home in Ohio days ahead of time. And while what you're about to see is an important story, the security of the Vice President and his family is our top priority. Now, under normal circumstances, our editorial policy is to request comment a day or two before a report airs. But in this case, we contacted the Secret Service a full week in advance of this report to ensure that nothing we report here would compromise the Vice President's safety in any way.
Good move. Good move. Smart move from JD. Smart move for JD. Smart move for everyone involved.
But even with those precautions, what we uncovered is troubling, and we felt this is important for you all to see. We hope that bringing this to light strengthens security and helps prevent future vulnerabilities in our government.
Can I see your badge again with your photo? You said you were training. It was your training?
Yeah, that's like 4 years ago.
You're so cute.
We met Thomas on the dating app Tinder in October of 2025. The Secret Service agent is a holdover from the Biden administration. He was actually originally tasked with protecting Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff. In fact, he sent us this image from a Christmas party in December of 2024. There he is with Kamala Harris.
How did you get picked to do like vice president?
Not by choice, it's just they talk to you and they let you know, it's like, hey, eventually you're going to have to go down to D.C.
Okay.
All roads lead to D.C. now in your career. So you can go to the president's detail, the vice president's detail, what we call counter surveillance division, so that's undercover stuff.
Note the irony, he's talking about undercover counter surveillance to a journalist wearing a hidden camera. Tomas Escato is often directly involved in the vice president's transportation to and from his residence at the Naval Observatory, surveillance of the vice president's residence, and even protecting Vance's wife Usha Vance and their children. Here he complains again to a total stranger he just met about his assignment involving JD Vance's children.
So what are his kids like?
We go to school with them.
Oh.
Yeah, we follow them everywhere. There's a 24/7, there is no lack of coverage. Not like there's a babysitter with a R. It's a weird one that we always talk about, like, what the fuck is this? And you can't do nothing.
Oh, you can't do anything.
No, we can't do anything.
You talking way too much, bro, on a date. Way too much. If I'm in Secret Service, I mean, let's just talk about it for a second before we go back to it. It's secret. All this blabbing about the individual details and following the kids and this date and that time and all this, you're just doing way too much. And you should know better since you're in the Secret Service. You should know to not do this.
Tomas proceeds to give our undercover journalist detailed info with pictures about the specific methods used to transport and protect the vice president. And even tells her some exact times of shift changes on the Secret Service schedule.
So like when he's like walking, like where are you?
Following.
Just following.
It's a group of us, we surround, make a bubble.
Yeah.
We'll have at least a minimum head and now that I'm on the vice president's actual details, a little different because we have different shifts. We have shift.
Via text, JD Vance's Secret Service agent informs the stranger when he has picked up JD Vance's wife and even mentions that he and Vance are currently at Tomas even sends a selfie from inside a JD Vance's residence at the Naval Observatory. It's basically a secure location while the Secret Service is surveilling the vice president's home. Now, while he's supposed to be guarding the vice president's property, Tomas is busy snapping selfies, texting our journalist. Now, here's a picture that Tomas sent us.
Now, I don't even know why they're able to have cell phones. My uncle was in the Navy and he became an engineer. He was an engineer in the Navy. And then when he retired, he was still an engineer. And a lot of these places he goes, you cannot have your phone at all. Like a lot of these boats and ships and stuff like that, you can't have your phone at all. So why are Secret Service agents in the middle of a mission, in the middle of working, taking pictures, texting? Why is they even thing you're able to do? That right there is a security issue in itself.
Taking off from Joint Base Andrews Air Force Base, you see the convoy vehicle going into the airplane. And some of these photos even had location metadata baked in the photos. It's worth mentioning that these pictures were taken a few months prior to sending them to our journalist.
And look, let me just talk about that for a minute. Even on my phone, even on my iPhone, I turn off metadata on all my pictures. Like, ain't none of that going on. I can't even see it myself. So if I send something to somebody, they don't know nothing about nothing. All of this right here, I don't even have on my pictures. It's too much of a security problem. And then if somebody's able to gain access to your phone and they're able to go through your photo library, they can pretty much see exactly where you were. They can develop a timeline. They could develop a pattern and see exactly what's going on. So they can predict where you're going to be and catch you there. That's going to be a big security problem. He should know that, again, because he's in Secret Service. If I know that as a regular person, why doesn't he know that?
Taken a few months prior to sending them to our journalist. While they didn't give away the vice president's location in real time, they did give away certain routes that were used and the number of vehicles in the convoy, information which could be used in the future. This is a photo Tomas sent us from King Khalid International Airport in Saudi Arabia. Here's a photo Tomas sent us loading the convoy into an aircraft at Munich Airport in Germany, where Vice President Vance gave a speech to the Munich Security Council. Again, metadata there on the photo. Another image revealing the exact location at the presidential helicopter at JFK in New York. And we think perhaps most significant, he revealed the location where President Trump's convoy was driving through Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi, May 2025. This convoy was transporting President Trump for a state visit with the UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. These photos are from Tomas Escoto's time during the Secret Service shot from his personal iPhone. His personal phone dating back to May, while on duty protecting the vice president and president, and all of this was sent to our undercover journalists. The Secret Service agent even goes on to detail recent visits to Minnesota, Tennessee, specifies that the Secret Service team was on location as per the procedure.
Now, there's more to this. I want to play the entire thing. Again, I'll link to it in the box. I want to play a little bit of something else here.
Breaking news.
Where the Secret Service had sent their reaction.
We have a statement from the U.S. Secret Service that we've just obtained, hot off the press. This is attributable to U.S. Secret Service Deputy Director Matthew Quinn. I'm going to read this to you. We're going to put this on the screen for you as I read it. Quote, the U.S. Secret Service has no tolerance for any behavior that could potentially compromise the safety, privacy, or trust of our protectees. This incident is under investigation, and the employee involved has been placed on administrative leave with his clearance suspended and access to agency facilities and systems revoked. The U.S. Secret Service has also issued an order for all personnel to retake the agency's required anti-espionage training.
Let me go back to read the rest of this, just to be on the same page. So he has to take the anti-espionage training, meaning don't get caught up with fang, yum, yum, like Eric Swalwell, okay? Don't do anything like that, because there are people out there that'll target you. Even if it's not James, hey, he's lucky it was James O'Keefe. And James O'Keefe was gracious enough to censor the things that he said that could really be harmful to JD Vance, to the president, or whoever. He's lucky it was him. It could have been China, Russia, or anybody that sent him a little honeypot and got all the information and took everything without any kind of redaction, without any kind of censorship or whatever. Let's continue. So they got to take the anti-espionage training in order to ensure employees are aware of the threats posed by individuals aiming to exploit agency employees for information about our protective operations. The Secret Service has a 160-year-old tradition of discretion that sets this agency apart, and we have no tolerance for employees who fail to meet this standard. The Secret Service deeply apologizes to the Vance family for this violation of their trust and privacy. The faith of our protectees placed in this agency is not something that the U.S. Secret Service takes lightly, and we are committed to taking the necessary actions to ensure that a similar breach of standards does not occur again. So they got him on leave. They need to go ahead and fire him. And if they don't fire him, there needs to be some serious reprimand. This should be a way to prevent these things from happening in the future. Okay? Understand that people are out there that may want to do that to you. Okay, they meet you on a date and that be thinking everything's going good. You get comfortable, start pillow talking. Next thing you know, China got information, Russia got information, Iran got information. You losing your job, you getting fired, blackballed, blacklisted, your whole career is over with. So again, let it be a lesson. Don't talk like this on a date. Keep that stuff to yourself. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this Secret Service agent spilling all the beans to a random person he met on Tinder? You're talking about pictures, locations, all kind of stuff. You know, the strategy, the operations, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is really crazy. A guy, I don't know, maybe you're trying to impress the girl. Maybe you don't like JD. Regardless of what it is, you're in Secret Service and you got to behave as such. This right here was most certainly not behaving as such. And again, you're lucky it was James O'Keefe and it wasn't a foreign power that seeks to do you or JD or the United States harm. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.